Garden Day. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, some spot prizes being given away here on our Zoom calls, so make sure you turn on your cameras. And if you're joining us from Facebook, hello. Well, you know what? You have tuned in just in time. If you've missed something, all of this will be on our YouTube channel after the celebrations. Now, if you are lucky enough to live in Cape Town and have a houseplant obsession like me, as you can see, I'm sitting in around some beautiful greenery around me for Garden Day. Well, you most likely would have made a pit stop at a shop called, well, it is a shop for indoor plants for the city folk. It's called Plantify. And if you live elsewhere in the country, they are interesting. They are extraordinary. They have some wonderful plants that are all available online. Now, Andreas, founder and owner, is visiting Saffron from Saffron's Garden, who has an incredible collection of indoor plants. Andreas and Saffron, are you there?
We are.
We're there. Hello.
Oh, amazing. I'm loving the flower crowns.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Happy Garden Day to the two of you.
Thank you very much, Zoe.
Well, I have to say, I'm really looking forward to what you have to talk about when it comes to indoor plants, because I'm guilty. I don't have a garden and I need to put some, you know, I love my greenery in my place.
Amazing. Yeah, we've got a whole really interesting lineup of things to chat about, really quirky houseplants, different ways to style, and also how to propagate houseplants. Should be really interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well, take it away. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Awesome.
Cool. So, Andreas from Plantify, and with me today is Saffron from Saffron's Garden Club.
Hi.
Saffron, how have you spent your garden day so far?
Oh, I've had such a nice morning. This morning we had a whole bunch of family over and we made flower crowns, and it was just so much fun. The kiddies were enjoying it. It was just a great experience.
Amazing. So we're super chuffed to be coming live from your house.
Yep.
I know you've got an incredible selection of houseplants, and I
Yep.
can't wait to get involved. But perhaps you could just kick us off and tell us, how did you get into houseplants?
Wow. So it's been quite a journey for me. I fell in love with all things green through my mum. And it started off with outdoor plants. I really liked being in the garden, and I really liked having plants around me.
Mm-hmm.
Then it sort of evolved towards succulents. And then after having plants in pots, I was like, can I bring them indoors? Let's bring the party indoors. And now I'm obsessed. I've got so many indoor plants. It takes me about 2 hours to water them a week. But I love it. I absolutely love it.
I reckon Saffron's place must be one of the most biodiverse hotspots in the Western Cape. It is like a riot of color, of shapes, of textures. It's just phenomenal. But Saffron, houseplants, you're not a unique case. This is a global trend. Folks are really getting involved with houseplants. This feels like a moment in time. What's happening? Why are houseplants trending so much?
A few reasons, right? Social media, massive. Now we can share our favorite hobbies and people can pick up the hobby really easily. And, you know, Google has got so much information on houseplants and how to look after them. So you have more information at your fingertips. You have more people encouraging. End of the day, and we are so connected, trying to find ways to reconnect. And especially, you know, you're at home more often and you really want to make your house look better and be around nature.
Right. Have you found that tending houseplants has given you a greater connection to nature per se?
Definitely. Sometimes not the best nature when you've got pests.
Okay.
But really, it's so nice to wake up in the morning and see new leaves unfurling. It's just such a rewarding feeling.
It's quite incredible that the trend of houseplants is something that connects young people the world over.
Yeah.
And, you know, like the social media platforms really enable us to share a conversation across geographies. It's a good thing. It unifies us. It makes us feel good. It's quite incredible, actually.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Now, I know that you've taken your passion for houseplants a step further, and you've actually started a small business. Tell us about that.
Yes. So, you know, that's the millennial thing to do, is to take your hobby and turn it into a business. I've managed it. So I've got a Saffron's Garden Plant Club. It's a subscription-based service where once a month you receive a surprise plant and a surprise plant-related gift. And I'm all about gifting and surprises. So I absolutely love it. And forming a community with plants, with people and plants, it's just so much fun.
It's amazing. Like this aspect of community and plants is really strong, especially in the Western Cape, but we're also noticing all around South Africa, people are very much into community, kind of WhatsApp group, Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So awesome. So plant swaps became a massive thing about a year or two ago. And right there and then you could meet people in the flesh, people that you saw on Instagram, people that you saw on Facebook posting things. And you could say, hey, what plants do you have? And swap plants, and then you swap numbers, and then you know, stay in contact. And you know, the plant community is such a friendly community. We really don't discriminate, and it makes it so easy for new plant parents to come into the fold. And I think that's what makes it so awesome. Okay,
so you kind of like you're making friends, you're sharing cuttings, you're sharing knowledge, all these things.
Yes, and also again, social media makes it so easy because you know, somebody's just a click away, or there are all these Facebook groups, and it's just so easy to fall in love with the community and the plants when it's so easy to access it.
Amazing. Well, I got into houseplants simply by being exposed and curious about all the various shapes and sizes. There's dots, there's stripes, there's chevrons. It's big, it's small, like it's just endless. It really stoked my curiosity for nature and my imagination for where these plants come from. And I know, Saffron, you've put together a really interesting selection of quirky houseplants for us to look at. And I wonder whether you could show us a little bit more what we...
I could.
Cool, let's have a look. So, are these, well, take us through it. So kick us off.
Okay. So the first one I'm going to start with is the biggest one, and it's also probably the most popular one. This is a variegated monstera. Monsteras are quite common. They're from South Mexico, and they have just blasted off, and they're all over the world. But the variegated version is quite rare. It's a lack of chlorophyll, and it really, that's why it makes it white. So in a way, it's not very good for the plant to have lots of white because it can't process the sunlight and make food. But for aesthetic purposes, it is just so beautiful to have this beautiful plant with white in it. I love them. I absolutely love them. And I can guarantee you most people are dying to get their hands on one.
So variegation, when you say variegation, what is that?
So that's exactly where you can see where something is not quite green, where it has little markings on it or little spots on it. That is sort of the pigmentation discoloring.
Okay.
Yeah.
So variegation is a thing. I know, like the folks that come in store often come with a brief. I'm looking for variegation. Show me what's variegated. And would you say this is the kind of queen pin, king pin?
Oh, definitely. And you get different kinds of variegation. You get marbled variegation where it looks like a marbled stone, or you get half moons. I don't know if you've heard of half moons, where one leaf is white, half white, and the other half is green, and that is just to die for.
The kind of diversity is never ending. It seems that plant world. So what else have you got here?
So this is a stunning Anthurium magnificum. This guy comes from Colombia, and he's got the most beautiful velvety leaves that you can see. And I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so luxurious with its leaves like that. And it's pretty easy to care for too. It doesn't require a lot of high maintenance, but it's a high reward plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anthuriums are actually, one of the more common plants that we find in supermarkets. They often have those kind of spade and spandex colors. You get them in pink and red.
I think the common name is flower tail. You'll find your Anthurium flower tail. So it's got the little red and pink and white. Yeah, you can find them.
Okay, so those are probably prized for their inflorescence, for their flowers. Yes. But are you saying like there are some anthuriums which are prized for their foliage?
There we go. Okay. So this would be it. This would be one of those anthuriums which has just the most velvety, beautiful leaves. Who needs flowers?
We have this, totally.
Yeah.
So what's really cool is, okay, so the Latin name, the scientific name is Anthurium magnificum. And
it's magnificent.
Magnificent,
It's
okay.
magnificent. It's as easy
Cool.
as that.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. So what have we got here?
So this is an Escananthus, or a curly lipstick plant. It's really, really most bizarre. It's one of the most commented plants in my house because it's got curly leaves. And it's called the lipstick plant because the flowers are like lipstick tubes and they have that kind of look towards them. So
wait,
I just love it.
You're saying that the flowers actually shoot out a red lipstick?
Yeah.
Is that so?
Plant parent joke, right
Plant
there.
parent joke.
No, they're stunning. And you get them in all sorts of colors. You get pink and dark maroon. It's just so stunning to look at.
Amazing. Okay, so lipstick vine over here.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. What do we have here?
So this looks like a very small plant, but in fact it can grow massive. This is a staghorn fern, superbum. It is just the weirdest, like alien. And these guys grow on trees.
Okay.
They're growing, and it just grows like ginormous, and they come together.
Okay. Okay, so
Trust them to have the weird stuff.
The weird stuff, nice and big.
Yeah.
Again, like the scientific name says something about what we can expect about the plant.
Super.
Superb, massive. Yeah. XL. Very cool. I like it. So staghorn fern, is that also one of the common names?
That's the common name because it literally looks like it's got it looks like a stag. Yeah.
Kind of antlers of
a stag.
A bokkie with a.
There we go.
Nice.
Prize bokkie, yeah.
A little prize bokkie.
Yes.
Okay, what's happening here?
So this is a watermelon peperomia. It is not related to watermelons or peperomia. Watermelon and peperomia are rather used to describe what it looks like. As you can see, the leaves have got like a watermelon texture to them and pattern to them. And peperomia, because it grows like a peperomia, which is just fascinating to me that different plant families can grow like each other.
Right.
You know, and this guy I love. He propagates so easily, and it's just a joy to have. Yeah.
So, like, where does this plant live in your house?
In the bathroom, bright lights, and it looks stunning anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It's got these kind of purple leaves and this really quirky leaf.
Yeah.
Kind of orbic, like it.
Yeah.
Okay, and next up, what do we have here?
Okay, another really popular one. This is a Philodendron pink princess. And unlike the others, it doesn't really come from anywhere. It is a hybrid or a man-made plant that's been cooked up in a lab. Okay. Which is they've sort of taken a whole bunch of plants and mixed them together and got this guy. And also, when we're talking about variegation, this guy also has variegation. Look at those pink leaves. Aren't they stunning?
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love them. I love them.
So when you're saying a hybrid, so they've actually taken 2 or more plants and kind of
mesh them together, mesh their DNA, and then you can get cuttings from them and keep growing them. Yeah. Okay,
amazing. So kind of like taking the best parts of various plants, mixing them up together.
Yes.
Okay, nice. Now, when I came in earlier, I noticed 1 or 2 plants stashed under the stairs.
Only 1 or 2.
I wonder, like, is this where you keep your prized?
Sure. This is one of my prized plants. This is a Melonia macchiato. And what makes this plant so fascinating is its little white dots. The white dots on the leaves look like they've been painted on. It's just so bizarre. I love it. I love the way it looks, and I love the way it grows. It's also a fast grower, so if you're looking for fast growth, this is perfect.
That's amazing. Okay, where does this plant live in your house?
This plant lives in the kitchen, and you know what I think is great is that a lot of steam from the kettle heads its way, and so it gets a lot of humidity, and some plants love humidity. So very easy hack right there.
Oh, amazing.
Put your plant near the kettle, and there'll be more humidity.
Okay, so it doesn't get affected by the heat?
No, not if it's far away.
Okay, so kind of like ambient humidity.
Yes, exactly. Think of it having a spa day.
Oh,
yeah.
glorious. Okay, so magnificum No?
No, begonia
Macchiato.
macchiato.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Let's put it back. And then this last guy here. What's going on here?
So now you see these guys in woodies, but this one is a little bit different. It is a variegated peace lily. Peace lilies are quite common. This one is a little bit less common because, of course, it's got the berry. Pops right back.
Wow, so you're saying like the plant communicates with you?
It does, which is so nice. You don't need to worry about what it needs. It tells you right away.
Oh, that is incredible. Okay, so I mean, this is a really impressive variety. Like I'm really enjoying the various applications.
Yes.
Like all the leaf textures, the colors, etc. But what I've noticed is that all of the plants are in pots.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So are there different ways in which people can actually style their plants besides pots?
Yes, there are. I would love to show them to you.
Okay, well, let's have you set something up for us?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay, cool. So
follow us, guys.
We're going to go outside and have a look what Saffron's prepared for us. Okay. Nice. Right, so houseplants in different formats, different ways of styling them. One of the great things is that if you're living in a flat and you have a camera up a little bit there, yeah, perfect, got it, awesome. So if you have a small space, you can actually use your wall space. You can hang something from the ceiling. There's different applications. So I know you've prepared 4 for us.
Yes.
So tell us what you've got for us.
Right. So this first one here. Cool. Bring it down and show it off. So this is the staghorn fern that I was talking about earlier on. This is one that's been mounted onto a piece of wood, and you can literally hang it up anywhere. If you hang it up inside, you just need to water it every now and again, and it doesn't need soil. It doesn't need soil, which makes it so interesting.
Cool. So you've actually like taken the roots and you've what have you done over here?
So you bundle them up and you wrap moss around it just to hold the roots together.
Okay.
Because you are doing something artificial to it, and then you string it and nail it to a piece of wood, and these are how they grow in nature. They grow on trees, and they sort of wrap their roots around them, so you basically just imitating that.
That's incredible. Okay, so mounting something on something else, this would then hang on a wall?
It could. Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Very cool. Okay, so this is one other way to style a house plant. Let's take a look at another technique. What do you have here?
So this is a terrarium. This is an open terrarium that can be closed too. So what this does is it mimics an environment within it. So an open terrarium is usually used for succulents, and it's basically just a glass structure or a plastic structure that really holds the plants in, gives it a bit of humidity, and just makes that sort of process, that cycle of plants, they do it by themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so this is an open terrarium.
Yes.
You also get closed ones. That means that you kind of seed it.
Yes, you can seed it, and there's more humidity. Every now and again, you would maybe open it to do a little bit of maintenance.
Cool.
But not necessarily. It just sort of runs by itself and it treats itself.
So like, I imagine that's like a very high curiosity value.
Oh, stunning.
You can kind of see the roots. You can see the life cycle. As plants die, they kind of become food for the others.
Yes, and it's a fun thing to do, to sort of create a terrarium yourself. You're creating a little world, you know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I've read about like terrariums that have been closed for 40, 50 years. And you can really, it almost looks like a jungle in there.
Yeah, no,
it's quite amazing.
It's amazing.
Okay, so we have terrariums. Next up.
So this is a plant in water, basically. So you can either have it just in water, but here I've added laker, which are sort of like clay balls, and they sort of retain moisture, and they add a little bit of space between your roots, so your roots sort of have a bit more of a journey to go through. And it just looks, it's such a nice centerpiece. It just looks so cool.
Very cool. Okay, so the feature here is actually exposing the roots.
Yes.
Okay, and
yes.
and showing off not just the foliage of the plant, but also the root structure.
Definitely, definitely.
Nice. I mean, would the plant be producing the same roots as?
Not at all. So the amazing thing with these plants is that if I hold up 2 plants to you, and one had sort of brown plants, brown roots, and the other one had white roots, you'd know the one with white roots have been grown in water.
Okay.
You know, you can imagine that they've just got a more of a cleaner space to grow within. So that's the color that they end up being.
So I mean this is a delicious monster.
Yes.
Could this plant live in here for its lifespan?
Yes,
or?
it can.
Okay.
If you just add a little bit of fertilizer once a year, a lot of plants, ferns, do amazingly in water and lacquer. And one wouldn't think it, but they just love their water. And if you imagine them in the wild, they grow near rivers and they grow near streams, and that's just, you know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's the third way to style a plant. Okay.
Yes.
And I know you've got a fourth one ready for us here.
Yes.
What's happening here?
So this is a kokedama, or a moss ball plant, and literally the moss is enclosed. The roots are enclosed in moss, and you can hang this up, and you just need to dunk it in water maybe once a week. But this one is in my shower, so I get to shower with my plants and give it a bit of water while I'm showering with it. So it just lives there. It's just so beautiful.
Wow. So like plants can even accompany you to the shower?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Okay, so that's a moss ball. So we've looked at ways in which you can hang plants. We've looked at different ways to style the roots. We've looked at wall applications. That's pretty amazing. I mean, one of the things about plants that we often get asked is, do we have to buy plants? And how to grow is actually, propagate and replicate a plant. And Saffron, I know you're going to show us 3 different ways to propagate plants today.
Yes.
So maybe just take us through what the 3 are.
Sure thing. So plants are so great. You don't need to go and buy them. And this is where, so here, yeah. So over here, this is a beautiful plant, and I'm going to show you this.
Okay, nice. So first off, what is this plant?
This is a monstera deliciosa, a variegated version like I showed you. And it is quite easy to propagate, which makes it great. Okay, so stem cuttings is what you're going to show us now. Yep. Are you actually going to hack this up? I am, in front of everybody. If I screw it up, I'm so sorry. The reason why this is a bit of a moment is because, Saffron, what do one of these go for? Oh, they can go for like 2, 3, 4 grand. Okay. You know? Okay. Yeah. And you're going to cut this up now? I am. Let's make more. Okay. Let's share the love. Take it away. Okay. Neil, can you tilt it up a little bit? So you want to be looking for nodes. Nodes are basically the bumps on the stem where roots can come from. Okay. And you just cut below a node. So here I'm going to cut below a node. Oh. There we go. Boom. That can be rooted. You pop it into ground like that, and that is a stem cutting. Okay, so you're saying you've cut below the node? Yes. And you're just going to pop this onto soil? Yes. And it will grow roots? Hopefully. Okay, nice. Fingers crossed. Okay, so that's stem propagation. Stem propagation, yeah. Okay, cool. Take us through another way. Right, so a great way with succulents is leaf propagation or leaf cuttings. And the great thing about this is it is exactly what it sounds like. You just take a leaf, you break it off, and you pop it in some soil. Okay, so here I did that exact same thing a month ago, and you can see all the babies. So you've put the leaves simply onto soil. Is there anything else you do? I miss them maybe once every 2 weeks. Okay. But apart from that, they get their own. They sit outside. Okay. They do succulents tend to like being outside, so they get their own little mist. And they like being outside. And sort of in a little bit of shade. So bright indirect light, I would say, is the best light for them.
Okay, nice, nice.
Yes.
So that is leaf propagation.
There we go.
Okay. What's the third type?
So the third type is division. Now, division is literally what it sounds like. It's taking a plant and by the roots, dividing the plant up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we can do that with this one. This is an air plant.
Cool.
So it doesn't quite have roots, but it does have where they all come together. And so the great thing is, look here. So
And it is
You made it look so easy.
really good. And Google is your best friend.
You made it look so easy and simple.
Oh, it is Google. If you're unsure, there you go.
So I suppose the key thing is you've got to know the name of the plant in order to kind of know what propagation technique there is.
There we go. There
Okay,
we go.
cool.
Fantastic.
Nice
Andreas,
one.
Saffron, this was so informative. I had no idea about that lipstick plant. I've made a note. I'm going to get myself a lipstick plant. That was incredible. I have a question here from one of our viewers from Facebook, Lisa. She wants to know, do herbs survive in, now here you need to correct me, is it terrarium?
Terrarium.
Terrarium. Sorry.
Some herbs like mint might quite like the moist soil. So they could probably thrive, but I would still be careful of putting them too much in a dark spot. Make sure they get that light.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lisa, for asking that question. You are winning yourself a copy of Urban Jungle, Living and Styling with Plants. That is a book by Igor and Judith. Well,
Nice
I
one. Well done.
have one more question for you. How long, on average, does it take you to water all your plants?
Do you know, this is the most asked question I get. And then I'm like, oh, do I tell them the truth? It takes
Tell us the truth.
2 to 3 hours once a week. I make my coffee, I put on music, and I slowly walk around, and that's what happens.
Once a week. Okay, because then my next question would have been, do you have a schedule of which plant gets water when?
Yeah, so I call it watering Wednesdays. Watering Wednesdays just to check. It reminds me to check the plants, but often you'll put your finger into the soil of the plant and you'll go, it's still wet. I don't need to water it. So it's just a bit of a reminder to check in with your plant. So sometimes the plant doesn't need water once a week. It's a little bit more nuanced.
Watering Wednesdays. I think a lot of people will now take that and coin that term for themselves.
I hope so.
Thank you so much for a lovely day and enjoy the rest of your garden day.